On July 5, 2018, newsrooms across America held a moment of silence for the victims of the mass shooting at the Capitol Gazette in Annapolis, Maryland. One of the victims of this vicious act, which occurred on June 28, was Wendi Winters, a community journalist for the paper. The shooting at the newspaper's newsroom was apparently a targeted attack against the newspaper and freedom of the press in general. The shooter, 38-year-old Jared Ramos, had held a grudge against the paper for a long time before he committed this heinous act. In 2011, the paper had reported on a criminal harassment case against him because he stalked and harassed a former female classmate on Facebook. Ramos, in retaliation, filed a defamation suit against the paper, which was not found in his favor and was dismissed. He appealed, and in 2015, a judge upheld the dismissal. Following the dismissal, Ramos opened a Twitter account and began writing threats against the paper owners and staff. He also allegedly mailed 3 threatening letters before the shooting rampage. According to the county police, a letter signed by the gunman said he is on his way to the newspaper with the objective of killing every person present. I chose to highlight Wendi Winters among her fellow colleagues because of her valiant act of confronting the shooter. The gunman had broken the glass doors leading to the newsroom of the Capitol Gazette and was shooting at her colleagues, many of whom dropped to the floor or dove under their desks. Wendi Winters did not. Grabbing the trash can and recycling bin she kept by her desk, she ran toward the man and yelled at him to stop, distracting him long enough to allow some of her colleagues to escape. Of the 11 people in the room that day, 6 survived, some of whom remember her as someone who saved their lives. Wendi Winters spent her days writing about local events or interviewing teens who deserved recognition for good deeds. Weeks after she took an active shooter training class at her church, she made the ultimate sacrifice. In an act of extraordinary courage, she gave her heart, and she gave her last breath, and she gave her final 8 pints of blood to the defense of free press and in defense of her family at the Capitol. Winter's son, Phoenix Geimer, told a crowd of more than 700 family members, co-workers, and friends gathered shortly after her death to celebrate Winter's life. Wendi Winters died fighting for what she believed in. She's an American hero, and we all have so much to live up to. In late March of this year, the Maryland General Assembly has voted to name June 28 Freedom of the Press Day in honor of the Capitol Gazette victims. Last year, Time magazine named the victims of the Capitol Gazette shooting as its Person of the Year, along with Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi and 3 other reporters persecuted for their reporting.